question is for the Minister of Finance. Minister, last Tuesday, your government released a budget that included a provision to close the so-called underutilized jail in Sarnia, Owen Sound and Walkerton. Minister, if you had bothered to pick up the phone and call the Mayor of Sarnia, you would have found out that, in fact, the Sarnia jail is over their maximum capacity. I understand, however, that just minutes ago your Minister of Public Safety has agreed to meet with the Mayor of Sarnia on this issue. I say too little, too late. In fact, a report by your own government says that the Sarnia jail is at 105% of capacity. If you had bothered to call the Mayor of Owen Sound and Sarnia, you would have discovered that those prisoners are actually sleeping on the floor because the beds are full. Why did you say these jails are underutilized when they're not?
Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Community Safety and Correctional Services.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. In the supplementary, I'll mention the 25 jails the Conservatives closed, but not now.
Oh, well, we don't need to go there for the time being.
As you know, the ministry is modernizing the jail system in Ontario. The Sarnia jail was built some 50 years ago. Requires more than $1 million in capital investments. I'm surprised you didn't ask this earlier, by the way. It costs $180 a day to house an inmate in the Sarnia jail, $125 per day to house those inmates in the new Windsor jail. Decommissioning the Sarnia jail is consistent with the government's commitment to modernizing the correction system, closing some of the older, less efficient jails, to ensure we have a correctional system that is safe.
Supplementary.
Well, that's all well and good, Minister, but back to the Minister of Public Safety and Corrections. You're closing the jail in Sarnia and moving those prisoners to a new super jail in Windsor. By coincidence, happens to be in the Finance Minister's riding. Must be a coincidence. Your claim that this is the best choice, but it seems that you are alone in that assumption, Minister. Unlike you, I have spoken to the Mayor of Sarnia, the OPP, the Police Chief of Sarnia, the Canadian Border Services, the 2 Native Police Forces, and the President of OPSU, who represent all the workers. Frankly, this is becoming a hallmark of your government, and my constituents want answers. Minister, is it your opinion that you always know best, and it's simply not worth you or your ministry's time to speak to those on the ground who have to live with your decisions?
Hear, hear. Hear, hear, hear.
Well, this is very interesting. Topical.
Minister.
This is very interesting. The members had a chance for several days to ask this. I know why he hasn't, because the government of which he is now part closed the jails in Cobourg, Haileybury, Waterloo, Wellington, Parry Sound, Barrie, Peterborough, Guelph, Cornwall, Lindsay, Whitby, Brampton, Sault Ste. Marie. And I remember the member for Halton Hills, Wellington, saying the following. He said, I think the people of Ontario would expect us to look at how we're operating the system of provincial jails and find ways to do it better and cheaper. I happen to agree with my friend from Wellington, Halton Hills on that issue, as was Senator Runciman, who indicated that it's the oldest infrastructure in Canada that we have out there. We have to make these difficult decisions. The first half of
New question, the member from Beaches East York.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Premier.